Welcome to Drain the Rabbit Hole, the show where I will look at my most deeply held conspiracy beliefs. And spoiler alert, they're all true. All of them. So in this video, we'll be looking at how the Norwegian government floods Norway with narcotics. It's not a joke. I can back it up with facts. Let's look at it. Okay, the first thing we need to look at is how much does a dog carrier earn per year. In Norwegian we call it a hundefører. Directly translated, that is a dog leader. Let's see, I will ask Gemini. How much does the person who leads a narcotics dog in the Norwegian police earn per year? Between 540,000 NOK and 745,000 NOK. That is not a lot. Not a lot. Because I'm doing this video in English, I'm gonna transfer it to dollars. I will use a calculator. And I will take the highest amount, 745,000. Bear with me. In a little bit of time, you will see where I'm going with this. And you will agree with me. When you look at the maths, at how much it will cost to make Norway drug-free. No drugs. It's crazy. So crazy that we're not doing this. So 745,000 divided by whatever is the current NOK to USD, 0.11. I need to divide it by 0.11. Fuck. That's gonna give me a positive number, isn't it? I need to multiply it by 0.11. That is how you mathematic. 745,000 multiplied by 0.11, $81,950. That is how much the person who carries the dog earns in a year. That is not many dollars. This number I will multiply by 2 to account for the fact that if you are going to have a dog, you're going to need a lot of infrastructure. Dogs need food. They need a van to carry them around. You need people to train the dogs. Then you obviously need narcotics. That's expensive. So I'm multiplying it by 2. That means there's a lot more money. Double the money I'm using for this calculation. Now watch what I will do now. So now I've multiplied this number by 2, reaching $164,000. That is not a lot of dollar for one dog and one person to carry the dog around, the leader of the narcotics dog. And we are a rich country. Now we're going to multiply this with the exact number of how many access places there are in Norway for narcotics to enter this country. And you will see that the amount required to make Norway drug-free is so small, and we're not doing this. So I'm telling you, they want to keep our country filled up with drugs because we can make Norway drug-free so cheaply. Let's look at it. Okay, the next thing we need to look at is how many places can drugs enter Norway. So I will use Gemini again for this and I will ask it, how many ports are there in Norway that receive how many ports and or airport cargo terminals are there in Norway that receive international cargo? Total commercial network, look at this. Total commercial network, while there are over 600 commercial and fishing ports in total, roughly 33 ports handle enough cargo volume to be consistently reported in national statistics. 33 ports! That's not a lot. What about airport cargo terminals? While Norway has 98 certified airports, only a select few handle significant international air freight. Gardermoen, okay, I need a number, not the names of the airports. I'm gonna ask it again. How many international airports are there? 8! 8 international airports. That's nothing. 34 plus 8. That is only 42. Now Let's see how many road crossings there are into Norway. 40 officially recognized road crossings into Norway. That's not a lot of road crossings. So we have 42 plus 40. That's 82. And this number, even this number, I'm gonna double. Just to make sure that we didn't forget anything. Because it doesn't matter. We are such a rich country. We can double every number. And still the mathematics look crazy. Why are we not stopping drugs from entering Norway when we have the money to? We can do this. Let's double it. 100. That's not doubling it. That's 82 by 82. No, we need 82 by 2, which will be 164. Let's multiply that by $164,000. And you get this number, $26.9 million. That is how much it would cost to keep one dog and one person to lead the dog on every entry point into Norway. But one dog and one dog follower per border is not enough. Some of our borders are very big, like Svinesund. Many drugs can go across there at the same time. So we need more people. But some borders are very small, like Storskog in Finnmark. There's nothing there. Or Evenes flyplass. So I'm thinking 8 is the minimum per border. If you have 8 dogs and 8 dog persons per border, you can have them working 6 hours per day. And you can continually have one person checking everyone who passes through. And this will be enough in places like Storskog and Evenes flyplass. There is not a lot of people coming through there internationally. Not at all. So 8 people is enough, and you will continuously have one person checking everyone. You can have 4 people at work working for 1 week, 6 hours per day. Someone is always working. The other 4 people have vacation. They come back after a week, and you recycle. Some of the other borders, you will need more than 8 people because they are very big, like Svinesund. But there are not that many of them. So let's, for example, consider that we need 20 people per border. So let's take this number and let's multiply it by 20. Then you have 20 dogs and 20 dog persons per border. This will stop so many drugs from coming into Norway. It's ridiculous, and we are not doing it. So let's multiply this by 20. And the answer becomes $537 million. That is so less. That is so less. And I will give you this number in Norwegian kroners also. We are supposedly the richest country on earth. And we don't have money for this. And I will contrast this with some of the other things we are spending money on. And you will be shocked. We need USD to NOK. 9.32. That is not too bad. Actually, it used to be a lot worse. Multiply this by 9.32. 5 billion NOK. For 5 billion NOK, we could make Norway drug-free. Have 20 dogs and 20 dog personnel on every border crossing. And I'm telling you, on most of these borders, you only need 8. So on Svinesund, on Gardermoen, you could have 50 people trying to check everything that tries to cross that border. And we're not doing it, but we have the money. 5 billion NOK is nothing to Norway. It's nothing. And I will show you this by asking Gemini, how much money did Norway spend on foreign aid in 2025? 58.9 billion NOK we spent on foreign aid giving to other countries than Norway in 2025. And we don't have 5 billion NOK to protect our own border from drugs? Like, what is happening? And there is the worst thing is there is no current public debate about this at all. No one is suggesting this other than me. So, but we have 58 million to give to corrupt countries? Yeah, no problem. But we don't have 5 billion to protect our own people. I'm telling you, the government, it's designed to be this way. The government wants Western countries overflowing with narcotics. It's not a coincidence. I'm not saying that the police or the customs authority are corrupt and they are letting drugs through. No, they're not. I think they genuinely are trying to catch these substances, but it's like a casino. The stakes are rigged. They can try, and sometimes they might win, but in the long run, they're not winning. It's by design. We want these drugs coming to our country. We don't want to spend 5 billion NOK on our own people, but we are giving this money away to other countries. So much more, 10 times the money it would cost to make Norway completely drug-free. We are giving away foreign aid. Like, what would make Norwegian mothers less worried? 59 million spent on foreign aid, or 5 billion spent to protect our borders? I'm telling you, my mother is so worried. It's insane, and she's not the only one, and there is no current public debate about this. There's so many people around in Norwegian households who are worried about this, so the politician who suggests this, he will be elected immediately, and no one is even talking about this. Why? Because it's by design. It's supposed to be this way. It helps the government, it helps the government institutions, it perpetuates the power structures that we already have. When you hear the public debate that's going on about narcotics, about crimes, you are hearing words like street values of tens of $millions, organized crime, these kinds of things. And for regular people who are just sitting in their homes, they hear these words like organized crimes, like tens of millions of dollars of street values. Like, how can we comprehend these things? How can we feel that we can fight against these things? We can't, we are just regular people. So we look to the government, we look to politicians to solve these problems, but they're not even trying to solve them. People will come at you with the argument that no matter how hard you try to stop narcotics, these people will get the narcotics through. If you shut down every border, check everything that passes through the border, they will airdrop it. They will use submarines. And that might be true, but imagine if a Russian plane had crashed into Norwegian airspace. It would be in every newspaper. We would say this is an act of war, this is an act of aggression, it's violating Norwegian sovereignty. So if a drug gang is doing the same thing, we should use the same words, and it's not a customs problem or a police problem. Why is it a customs problem before it enters Norway, and why is it a police problem when it enters Norway? It's a military problem. If you are saying this is not allowed and they are violating our airspace, airdropping it or using submarines, it's a military problem. If that had been a Russian plane or a Russian submarine, we would say it's a military problem. So it's ridiculous the way we have also organized ourselves against this. We have militaries in Europe, in Norway, that have been dormant for decades, not doing anything. Why aren't they trying to stop narcotics coming into Norway? Like, imagine if you're in a war, what does the military need to do? They need to control areas, they need to know what's going in and out, they need to protect the border. These are all things that are relevant in the fight against narcotics, and we are not even trying these things. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. I will come with many more videos. I have so many of these thoughts, crazy thoughts about conspiracy theories, about evil plots to control the world, everything, and I believe them. I think it's true, and I will try to explain it with real facts, make it understandable, and we can change things. We are like in Norway, if we demand this from our politicians, 5 billion is nothing. If we have 58 billion to spend on foreign aid, why do we not have 5 billion to try to protect the border? If we demand this from our politicians, real change can happen. And that's my opinion. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and I will make many more of these types of videos because it's all I think about. I'm a conspiracy theorist, and I'm proud to be a conspiracy theorist. Yeah.